There you go, another one added to the fleet now. This one will be something interesting. Something I sort of hinted towards when I was lifting the Riviera body off of the chassis that's over yonder. You look at it just there is a future project that I have in mind. I'm not going to go into it too far. I'm going to keep that one a surprise for the future. Yeah, so what I was trying to hint towards but never really said it is a forward control 4-track. I was going to try to keep it a bit more of a secret, but I'm just going to, there's no point, I might as well just straight up and say what it's going to be. It's going to be a forward control 4-track, a Daihatsu 4Control, there you go. Yeah, the plan will be take the front wings off, the bonnet, hopefully leave the grille and the bumper on. The cab will chop off at the back and make a single cab like we have with the other vehicles, and then this whole cab will literally be, hang on, let's get a bit further back so I could try and show it off. Pardon me. So this cab will be chopped off here like all the other ones, all the front wings will be off, and that entire cab will just get put on top of there. And we got a great big bed space then behind. That's the plan anyway. Like the clutch cable will be alright, the brakes will be alright. The only problems we're going to have is the, hang on, the throttle, clutch and brake is all going to be a piece of piss. The steering and the gear shifter is the only problem that's going to be there. The gear shifter is just going to have to be cable driven. I have a Fiesta or some scrap vehicle. And the steering, I think I'll be doing a chain driven design so it goes down the front, back along, because the steering wheel is going to be in front of the steering box, so it will never reach the input of the steering box. But yeah, no, we'll see what happens. I'm gonna hopefully send you over to future me in a minute, and we'll try to do some illustrations of what the final design will be. I hope it works, but obviously we got the short wheelbase chassis over there. Oh, and obviously we have the short wheelbase chassis over here, which the plan with it is to use this chassis here as the main frame for the cab. So we'll cut it off just in front of there, and then cut it off just behind here. And I have done the measurements. It turns out those mounts there on a short wheelbase are in the same place that I fit the mounts to a long wheelbase single cab. Well, done some body mounts, literally just some box section, and used the original mounts just to go through to the box section either side, as you can see there. And the inside, probably can't see. There's the bolt head, same either side, that just goes straight through to that bit of a body mount, and that's job done. There's 2 new plates in there, so it's all fresh steel. So this is perfect really. I mean, they're a bit higher, but that's not a problem. It just means the cab will have a bit of a lump, which they have do from factory, the proper cabs do anyway, so that's not an issue. So literally it will just be chop this chassis off, add some extra cross members so it isn't going to fall apart, and this will sit over the top of the engine then. Yeah, so that's my plan. Because I'm not ever going to do anything with this chassis is fucked. There's no point in doing it with it. Yeah. Anyway, so that's the plan with this truck. And like I say, hopefully now I'll send you over to future me, and we'll do a few little either illustrations, or we'll use the old Google SketchUp to make a 3D design. Anyway, see what happens. So I ended up getting a little bit pissed off trying to get Google SketchUp to work, which I'm alright with computers, but I'm not the best with 3D designs. But I just wanted to add this little bit at the end just to show you a picture of the truck, which sort of made me it made me come up with the idea. It wasn't necessarily the forward control, it was this iteration someone's built. It's a lovely job, and I would like to see it in person, but I'm not too worried about that. But it was mainly this truck here which made me think of this design. I've gone through all of it in my head. I know the steering's going to have to be chain driven. It's going to have to be a sprocket off of the steering column, chain going down onto what I believe is a jack shaft, which then goes back towards the steering box to the correct side, another chain, and then into the steering box. It's an awkward way of going around, but it seems to be the only way it's possibly possible. Yeah, then the gear linkage. I mean, the main H pattern gearbox, that'll be off of cables. That seems like the only option. And the transfer box, I'll probably leave it as just a lever. You have to get out and push it behind the cab, because I'm not very often going to be going off-road, and when I do, you just get out and put it in four-wheel drive there, and then it's not that hard, and you should be able to reach it theoretically. Or if I could maybe put a lever, I could do something, but when I get to that, I'll get to that. Yeah, and then after that, it's brakes, which that's not hard at all. You just make some new brake pipes. I'll probably put some flexies at the front, because I want to see if I can get the cab to tip up so I can work on the engine, but we'll, again, see what happens with that as well. I mean, all of this might go downhill and it might not work. It might be too high. I know it's going to be high. I'm just hoping not too high, but that's something I'll have to work out in the future. Yeah, then the electrics. I don't think there'll be too many issues with electrics. I might have to move the battery higher up or somewhere so the wiring harness still works correctly, so I haven't got to extend it. But if I have to extend the wiring harness, that's not a problem. It's not that hard to extend the wiring harness on that sort of thing. It's only it's only a few wires. They're quite simple trucks. Anyway, so nothing else I can really say now. Yeah, so I just hope that everyone enjoys watching it as much as I'm going to enjoy building it. And yeah, see you in the next one.